even with him walking into the octagon, it didn't seem, it just didn't seem like the same Conor. Like I thought, he was still there to fight, but like I thought he'd be a little bit more rowdy, a little bit more crazy. He looked like really, really calm, like super calm. So I was just kind of like, oh wow, let's see how this goes. And then of course I knew he was gonna attack me with something, and it was a kick. So it sucks.
The conversation when it comes down to Conor McGregor's loss to Max Holloway in the rematch has been predominantly focusing on the injury side of things, the physicality, the objective truth of the matter. That knee gave in. There was a legitimate injury, but the real story is not there. The real story was the moment Conor McGregor appeared on our screens and he made that walk into the ring. The moment I laid my eyes on Conor walking into the ring, I realized one thing. The good times are over. The man that Conor McGregor was, he can no longer be. In previous years, before the injuries, before everything, when McGregor made that walk into the ring, his eyes were laser focused. There was not an ounce of doubt, and he was supremely confident. The closer he got to that octagon with each singular step, his confidence grew more and more. And when he was finally in the ring, face to face with his opponents, you couldn't get Conor's eyes off of his opponents. He was razor focused, but today, in this match, before the match even began, Conor was looking down. He was sad. He was almost not himself. The pressure was getting to him. You could visibly see him go out there and just huff and puff. This was not the Conor McGregor that we all know and love, and this was not the Conor McGregor he himself knew. And that exactly is it right there, my friends. Conor McGregor, he can no longer be himself. After the injury, after the losses, after all of the layoff, the only thing McGregor was worried about was trying to be himself again. That is exactly where Conor lost himself and where he lost the fight before it even began. Maybe this was God's doing. Maybe this wasn't a mistake. Maybe everything played out just exactly the way it was meant to be. Maybe the victory lied within the fact that Conor simply made the walk after recovering from the injuries. Maybe this was just another sign for Conor McGregor to get himself back together, to maybe stop the bad habits and get his life back in order for his family and the loved ones and his entire country and his fans. Maybe the entire walk was for him the inherent victory of it all. Maybe it wasn't supposed to be coming down to the fact that Conor McGregor could lay down Max Holloway. Maybe not. Maybe all along we saw right past the initial victory. The victory was Conor McGregor made the walk. That may have been the ultimate victory in his career. Maybe far bigger than being a double champion. Maybe far bigger than boxing Floyd Mayweather. Maybe far bigger than all the millions that he has made in his professional career. Maybe this was the inherent victory that we all looked past. Of course, we would have loved to see the fight actually happen. We would have actually loved to see them go at it, but maybe God had something else planned. Maybe he was going to get completely mauled and destroyed, and that loss may have set him down a path that he couldn't ever recover from. Or maybe quite the opposite could happen. Conor might have knocked Max out cold in the first round, and this might have sent Conor back spiraling into his bad habits, and maybe this time around he couldn't control the demons. Maybe the liquor could get to him. And maybe by having a victory tonight, he would suffer the biggest defeat in his life. It was truly saddening for me to see Conor McGregor walk into the ring and basically not be himself. That hurt me more than the knee injury. That hurt me more than Conor McGregor breaking his shin against Dustin Poirier, for example. That look in his face, that doubt, that disbelief in his own abilities, and that acceptance of the pressure is exactly what I did not want to see in Conor McGregor. And that is exactly what got me hurt the most. And that could also perhaps explain the haircut. That haircut symbolizes Conor McGregor early in his career, when he was young, hungry, and when there was nothing that could just easily break down his confidence. That mohawk symbolized the beginning of his journey, when he was ruthless, cold-blooded, and simply out on a mission. But at the age of 37, the mission had long been accomplished. And so what became the mission? The mission was no longer what it once was, conquering the fight game. And by going back to that haircut, maybe Conor tried to go back to his old self. But in that moment, I am sure he realized that the missions of yesterday simply caused the demons of today. And ultimately, as we all looked at that moment of Conor McGregor inside the arena, I stand humbled and appreciative of the story that once was the McGregor story. And this might be the official end of it all, or maybe there might be one more victory along the way. But in the end, it was time that truly told us what really happened.
Beni bırakıp gitme bir yere, gidersen unutursun, dilerim öyle olmaz. Beni bırakıp gitme bir yere, gidersen unutursun.